It's Monday, August 25th.
The mayor said he would not come up and talk to us, and even when communicated that the parade would then disperse if we didn't move, he still refused to come up and talk to us.
Ottawa's Pride parade canceled shortly after it started after pro-Palestinian protesters blocked the route.
It's going to be a while before I get back to normal.
After weeks away, some people forced out by wildfires in Newfoundland and Labrador are finally home, but others will have to wait a little bit longer to get back.
I've been feeling like I've been waiting for this win for a long time, and to get it here at home in Canada is extremely special.
A champion again. Canada's Brooke Henderson takes her second CPKC Women's Open title with a thrilling one-stroke win.
What a show!
Amazing show.
Last time we saw these guys was probably 1997, so almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Worth the wait!
I feel like I know you. I feel like I knew a lot of people there. Anyway, not looking back in anger, even though, yeah, you saw it. It rained as Oasis kicks off the North American leg of their tour in Toronto last night. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, everybody. I'm Lindsey Deluce. Anne-Marie is away this week.
Yes, and thus you got me this week. I'm Teddy Wilson. Good morning, Canada.
And I'm Kelsey McEwen.
Hello.
Hi. Happy Monday. Hope your last week of potentially summer vacay is wrapping up well. Cooler than average in many communities, but listen, there's one spot in Canada that is still getting into the high 30s.
Really?
Today, we'll talk about that in weather.
I liked putting a sweater on this morning. I really did.
I know.
Did you like it?
Yes, I love it.
I hate the harbinger of winter, but I do like sweater weather. I gotta say that.
Sweater weather.
Yeah, sweater weather. It rhymes.
It does.
Cool. All right,
Great.
let's take a look at the top news stories we're following here for you this morning. Ottawa's annual Pride parade was canceled just shortly after it started.
We had staged a disruption of the parade to say our demands to both Capital Pride's executive director and board of directors and to the mayor.
So the group Queers for Palestine in Ottawa blocked the route near Parliament Hill. Protesters were demanding an apology from Ottawa's Mayor Mark Sutcliffe and from the organizations that pulled out of Capital Pride events last year. That's when organizers issued a statement expressing solidarity with Palestinians. In a statement, Ottawa's mayor said, in part, it's deeply regrettable that a group of activists chose to block the parade, ultimately leading Capital Pride officials to cancel the event. My heart goes out to the many people in our city who were deprived of the opportunity to participate in this celebration of joy, resilience, and community. Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with the Prime Minister of Poland today after making a surprise stop in Kyiv to mark Ukraine's Independence Day.
When peace comes, we must fortify Ukraine by rebuilding your cities, expanding your industries, developing your resources, and creating the foundations for true prosperity.
The Prime Minister told Ukrainians peace will come and Canada will be there when it does. Carney also offered a new breakdown of the additional $2 billion Canada pledged during June's G7 summit. The money will count towards Canada's commitment to reach the NATO spending target. He also said Canada could deploy military troops to Ukraine as part of an eventual security guarantee against Russia in an eventual ceasefire. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance says there has been movement in terms of a potential peace deal between Russia and Ukraine.
I think the Russians have made significant concessions to President Trump for the first time in 3.5 years of this conflict. They've actually been willing to be flexible on some of their core demands.
In an interview on NBC's Meet the Press, Vance said U.S. President Trump has been engaged in, quote, very aggressive, very energetic diplomacy with both Moscow and Kyiv. He also said Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed Ukraine will receive security guarantees to protect against further Russian aggression, and that he knows he cannot install a puppet regime in Kyiv. Vance also said he thinks his administration can successfully broker a peace deal in Ukraine. Well, there is relief for some people living in Conception Bay North who are now home after being forced out by wildfires.
It was nice to step inside the house, but it was very eerie coming down the road. There was 5 vehicles with us, and we just like we were coming into a ghost town, like there was no life here.
More people from Perry's Cove have now been allowed to return, almost 3 weeks after they were told to leave. Evacuation orders are being lifted in stages, with officials saying some of the harder hit communities will need a lot of cleanup before people can go home. The Kingston fire on the northwest shore of Conception Bay has destroyed almost 200 homes and structures.
We need extended rain for multiple days before it has any real good effect on this fire.
And in Nova Scotia, officials have expanded an evacuation order for Annapolis County. The wildfire at Long Lake keeps growing, fueled by strong winds and high temperatures. There is rain in the forecast today, but officials say it may not be enough to make a dent. The fire is burning about 130 kilometers west of downtown Halifax. Police in Toronto are now asking for the public's help, identifying a car that may be linked to a shooting that killed an 8-year-old boy. These images show what is believed to be a white Acura. Investigators have not said how they believe the car was involved or where and when it was last seen, but anyone with information is asked to come forward. 8-year-old Jave Roy was killed by a stray bullet while lying in bed with his mother last Saturday morning. New college and university students across the country are starting to settle in on campus.
This is all my stuff.
Some pillows, some bedding, fridge over there.
The new school year is, of course, about to start, with schools seeing a big drop in international student enrollment due to the new federal cap on study permits. At Toronto Metropolitan University, for example, just 17% of first-year students are from outside Canada. Most are from the United States. With the cap in place, reports are showing lower demand in rental housing and a drop in prices. Well, Brooke Henderson has added another Canadian Open title to her trophy case.
The comeback is complete for the Pride of Canada.
The Pride of Smiths Falls, Ontario, birdied the 13th and 14th to pull ahead of Australia's Minjin Liu. Henderson ended up shooting a 4 under 67 to win the CPKC Women's Open by 1 stroke. This was the second time Henderson has won Canada's National Women's Golf Championship. The win was her 14th LPGA title and her first victory in more than 2 years. Well, as we said off the top of the hour, about 50,000 fans from around the world were in Toronto last night for the ongoing musical reunion of Oasis. The Notorious Brothers, Liam and Noel Gallagher, kicked off the North American leg of their tour at Rogers Stadium. They played all of their classics, including Wonderwall, Supersonic, and Champagne Supernova, and even a little rain couldn't bring down these fans.
It was worth the rain, 100%. What a show.
Amazing show. There are just so many people who are in the same vibe, enjoying the music. It was so great.
I love that. Okay, Oasis plays a second show in Toronto tonight before heading down to the U.S.